Oh my gosh. It's heartbreaking. I mean, it's not just heartbreaking. I was just infuriated reading it. And if I remember right, I mean, God, you had so many great statistics in here. Um,
Hundreds.
well, yeah. In fact, over 500
Which
sources.
I had to check like 5 times and have like 3 proofreaders check. Yeah.
One of the stats I read was, if I'm right, for the CARES Act, around only 20% went to small businesses, which represent half the economy. Only 20%.
Yeah, I mean, it actually may be less than that. I have to go back and do the actual calculation, but yeah, just underneath that, which is, and again, this is where the frustration comes, because there was a path. And I don't need to I'm a liberties person, but like if you were a lockdown person, as I've said, there were no lockdowns, so we can't argue that that was a thing. So this middle of the road path, the partial lockdown, the picking of winners and losers, like you can make a justification if you compensate those folks under eminent domain. We're taking your property for the public good. We'll compensate you. You could make that argument, and I lay out the case in the book. They could have spent $1 trillion to like $1.5 trillion, which would have been a fraction of the more than $6 trillion that they spent. And it would have preserved employment. It would have preserved small business. It would have bought them at least 2 to 3 months to figure out mitigation strategies. And it really would have shifted the entire dynamic of what happened last year, and then also what we're dealing with in the supply chain today and in the labor market today, that is the outgrowth of the consequences of these actions. And so they chose not to do that. They treated it like they treat everything else, and it was cash for cronies, trademark, and folks that have other access to capital, who didn't need capital, that were not vulnerable, got all kinds of money, and it was just a mess. And so that's the part that I take issue with, that like, if you're going to say, okay, we need to do something, okay, well, here's a way that you could have done that to achieve the objective, but that wasn't done, and we weren't all locked down, so we weren't all feeling the pain and having, like, if you would have had the stock market not propped up, Amazon's warehouse closed, Walmart, Target, like 2 to 3 weeks, everyone would have been screaming. We would have been out of lockdowns. End of story. So we didn't have it all together. We didn't have the compensation. We didn't have full liberty. We didn't. We just had government whim picking winners and losers, which is the worst of all worlds, for our economic freedom, for individual rights, like for the future of wealth creation opportunities in this country. And that's the through line, is that even if it didn't affect you this time, if you got the golden ticket this time, that doesn't mean you're going to get the golden ticket the next time.
I mean, what maniac out there wants AOC investing with their money? Seriously, maniacs, crazies. It's because we're like when the government picks winners and losers, we pay for it. They pay nothing. So,
right. People forget, like, they don't have any money. They don't create anything of value. So it's either money that they have directly taken from you, or that they have printed out of thin air to devalue what you do already have, and or create a liability for you in the future. So it's really all, in some way, shape, or form, it's all yours.
If you like this content and want to hear other things like it, head on over to the website at blackmarketleadership.com. That's blackmarketleadership.com. There you can subscribe to the podcast, and you can even create a free members profile